Rob Smith in. I'm joined with Jiu-Jitsu Geoff Pavey as he makes his return to action at Cage Warriors Newcastle on December 6th. Jeff, how are we doing?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm very good, mate. I'm very good. So let's talk about this match. You're back to Cage Warriors December 6th on the Newcastle card. How are you feeling physically and mentally going into fight week?
Yeah, well, I've had a very good camp this camp. I basically stayed the exact same weight from the last fight about 10 weeks ago, so I've had nothing to cut, just concentrating on technique and getting better.
And your match with I'm gonna butcher your opponent's name, so I apologize in advance. Farshad Nazarian, I think that's right. And so what
I think of myself.
and so when you've done your research into him, what kind of stands out about his style and what kind of fight are you expecting from him?
I'm not too sure to be honest, because all of his other fights they've been at like light heavyweight, and now he's fighting at middleweight. So I don't know if he's going to come in dehydrated and fatigued, or he's going to come in absolutely shredded. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to me.
And was that something that you factored in at all? Obviously, he's had a lot of light heavyweight experience, so is a case to say that he might be the bigger guy going in there. Was that sort of something you figured about? Because obviously, I know yourself, you used to fight at 170, and now you're up at middleweight. Was that something you were
Yeah.
thinking about, or was it not really something you factored too much into the decision making?
Well, personally, when I fought lighter, I didn't feel great. So I don't know if he's going to be the same case for him when he's cutting down to 84 instead of 93. Who knows? But I know I'm feeling good, fit, and strong, and I want to bring it to him.
And without giving away your game plan, what parts of your skill set do you feel match up best with Nazarian?
Well, he likes to stand and bang, and he likes to grapple. So it's like me, to be honest. I like to keep it on the feet, even though I am jiu-jitsu, Jeff. I've got good jiu-jitsu, but I do like a swing and bang match. I've got to say.
And your opponent's on a three-fight win streak, and his only loss on his record in the professional ranks is to Nella Ariano, who looks like he's gonna be fighting next to the light heavyweight title. And so, would you
Yeah.
say this is your toughest fight to date?
My toughest pro fight, yes, definitely.
And you're trying out a Creed MMA, and obviously you've got so many good fighters over at the Creed. And who's been instrumental in preparing yourself for this matchup?
Well, Asa, my head coach, Asa, he's phenomenal. He noticed these little things. It's weird. Like he'll be watching you, like, no, do this. Like he's not even watching with his eyes how it seems if he's talking to you, but he's noticing it without looking directly at it. So he's getting like the full picture, and he's fixing a lot of mistakes. And then I've got people like Bailey Gilbert, who's been my sparring partner. I was sparring with him today, so I'm getting a good exposure to some very high level people.
And you're 2-1 now as a professional since turning pro, because you fought the who's who in the amateur ranks. And
Yeah.
what lessons did you learn most about yourself since turning pro?
Well, it is a different game. There's obviously my last fight didn't go to plan, and there was an opportunity where I could have stood up, but when I was on the floor, I was thinking if I stand up now, I'm getting kneed in the face. It would have probably been beneficial to get kneed in the face for it to go the way it did. But yeah, there's mistakes I made in that last fight that I'm definitely not going to do in this fight. So if he's watching my last fight and he thinks it's going to go that way, he's in for a big shock because I've worked on those mistakes, and I would much rather get kneed in the face trying to get up than stay on my back.
We'll briefly touch on that last fight. Obviously, you faced a very high level prospect in Fraser Patterson, and
Yeah.
that was and so what sort of mistakes you think led to that defeat? And do you think maybe it was a case of just blinded by the occasion of having those yellow gloves on fighting cage race for the first time? What do you think went wrong on that night?
Well, it was a big step up. Like the crowd, that Newcastle crowd, man. I'm eager to get back to that. I walked out. Obviously, when I walked out, all the Scottish were to my left, and they're like, "Boo!" I was loving that. Obviously, I had an England flag. That riled us up, and then they called me into the cage. I had all the English going to be mental for me. Like there was the lights. There was like the Paddy the Baddy backstage, man. Do you know what I mean? It was a big step up, but yeah, the mistakes I made. Obviously, I tried to play jiu-jitsu. I was on my back. I was too comfortable trying to be on my back, play guard. It's not jiu-jitsu, it's MMA. I should have got straight up. Like the 30 seconds we had like in an exchange on the hands, I was winning. I tried to play jiu-jitsu, man. I shouldn't have done it.
And you've spoken about the importance of really showing your improvements from each camp to the next. And what's one specific area of your game you feel like you've leveled up most coming into this fight?
Me wrestling and me get-up game. I'm not staying on the floor. I'm not going to try. Well, my submission game's strong, but if there's an opportunity to get up and I'm going to stand and bang, that's what I'm going to do.
And you said, we mentioned you're back fighting in cage warriors in that Newcastle crowd. The Newcastle crowd's notorious, in my opinion. Obviously, I know I'm biased. I'm from the northeast, but I do believe I've been to them all now. And I do believe the cage warriors Newcastle crowd is miles ahead the best one. And
Yeah.
that walkout last time, what was that moment like for you to fight? I can imagine since you fought in the amateurs, you dreamed of fighting the Cage Warriors. So what was that
Yeah,
moment
that's
walking that?
been the big dream.
What was that moment like for you to have that walkout?
That was surreal. You're walking out. I don't know how many people were in that room, but there must have been thousands. And home show, yeah, I know from Darlington, which is about half an hour away, but it's basically a home crowd. There was loads of people from Darlington, Sunderland, Newcastle, like the entire local area. Like a lot of those people, they might not have been there to see me, but they knew who I am. They've seen me at the gym. They've seen me on the local jiu-jitsu scene. Unbelievable. Like I don't know, I'm getting shivers down my spine just thinking about the walkout, and I can't wait to do it again next week.
As a fighter, you're known for both striking and grappling. And do you envision this fight staying on the feet or going to the mat a bit more? How are you prepared for either scenario?
Yeah, I'm definitely. I've done a lot of wrestling. I've been doing private wrestling, one to one, no gi. I do that anyway because I'm quite a good grappler. But I lost the last fight. I did for not getting up. So that's what I've been trying to work on, trying to like not be too comfortable on my back. Obviously, I'm very good on my back. I can throw up any subs that are very like low percentage that I can get. But in MMA, you want to be on your feet as much as possible. To be honest.
And how would you describe a mentality coming into fight week? Are you more calm and measured? Are you more like, do you have to get more fired up and aggressive?
No, I don't try. Honestly, I don't try and think about my opponent. I don't try and think about the fight. I don't really like. Obviously, I'm like trying, training. I'm aware that there's someone else that's training to try and kill me, but I don't try and dig too deep into it. I really switch on when my hands are getting wrapped 5 minutes before the fight, and I'm like, right, it's on. There's someone here getting their hands wrapped. They want to try and kill me. Let's fucking switch on.
And what does the perfect performance look for you on December 6th?
Well, obviously, everybody wants a finish. Everybody wants a spectacular highlight reel knockout, get shared Dana White's attention, but. I also want the octagon time. I want that time. I want to dominate 3 5 minute rounds. I want to 10-8 rounds, three of them. I want to like make him look like he shouldn't be there. The more time I can get in the octagon and the less damage that I can take, the more I'm going to take away from it at the end of the day.
In the middle of the division, it's definitely. I think in the past few years, it's been a little bit on the weaker side in Cage Warriors. However, I think it is starting to improve a hell of a lot. I think it's starting to get a lot more deep. And
Well, they've
with
got
a
me
win
now.
against exactly, mate, exactly. And so with a win against Nazarnia, where do you think that puts you in the division? And how far away do you think you are from potentially get the title shot at middleweight?
Well, everybody wants to be a world champion. You're not in this game to not want that belt. But you know, there's not that many people. It's a pretty dead division to be honest. There is a few people, but the other divisions are much more stacked. So to get that belt, I might have to go back through Fraser, but who knows? I've got my eyes set on that belt. Don't worry about that.
And is there anyone in the division that you think would give you the most exciting fight? Is there anyone who you look at and think that's the guy I'd really like to face off against one day?
No, I don't look past anyone. Like every fight's different. You can't be too concentrating on your last win. Your last win means nothing. Like they could that the next guy. It's completely different. It's hard to put into words. Each fight is different. They bring a different set of skills that you need to prepare for. So you shouldn't look past the next opponent.
And one thing I wanted to touch on is you mentioned it earlier on in the interview, quite at the start, where you're saying how you've not put much weight on since the last fight. You've been in shape the whole time. And if anyone
Yeah.
goes on your social media, you pretty much live in the gym. When you're not working, you're in the gym. It feels like it's literally you go to work the gym and literally that repeat cycle repeat seven
I
days
go,
a
I
week. It
go to
almost
the
feels
gym,
like
go to work, back to the gym.
it's exactly that, mate. You live for this. But where do you get that discipline from? Because that's something I know a lot of fighters do struggle with, and is like the diet side of things. So where do you get that discipline from?
Uh, I don't know. It's just part of routine now. It's just how I live. I feel guilty in my own mind if I don't train, especially when I know this is the career, this is the sport I'm doing. In my own mind, I think if I don't do that, someone is doing that and they're going to beat me. And I don't want to give anyone any slightest opportunity to be doing more than me, doing better than me. It's the way Mike Tyson said, if you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm up at 3 o'clock, and if you're up at 3 o'clock, I'm not going to bed. Like,
And my final question is, mate, what message do you have for the fans, the Cage Warriors fans in Newcastle who will be coming to the fight, who'll be watching on UFC Fight Pass? What's your message to them, and what can they expect from you on fight night?
well, they can always expect fireworks, big things. And my message to the tune is it's a home show. Get behind me. My ticket link's in the bio.
Do you want to give a chance to shout on your socials, mate? Now's your opportunity. Feel free.
Yeah, well, obviously there's my sponsors. I'm not going to list them all. There's too many. If you go on my Instagram, they're all on my walkout kit. And obviously there's my coaches at Creed MMA, my sparring partners. There's also Red Kid Jiu Jitsu. I've been doing quite a bit with George and Harry at MFA as well. So shout out all the boys that have got me ready for the fight.
Geoff, mate, I want to thank you for your time. It's been a real pleasure speaking to you as always, and I want to wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you on fight night.
Cheers, Rob. See you later.
See you later, mate.